This conference will now be recorded.
So in the last class, we have started seeing of your select queries, and then we have seen about your select star in all the formats. Now, in today's class, we are going to start with the select required fields from the table. From the table. So in this also, if you need all the fields, if you need all the fields, or if you need if you need all the data of the specific fields, all the data of the specific fields, or if you need all the data of the specific fields for the mentioned rows, for the mentioned rows, and then if you need if you need all the data of the specific fields which satisfies the conditions, meet the conditions which meet the conditions. So these are the three things that you will be having under your specific fields of your table. So now when we are doing with the specific fields, we just need to say the statement is instead of star, you have to replace with your corresponding fields. So what you have to do it, you have to just replace with your corresponding fields. So now the syntax will be, so if you see this syntax, the syntax will be select field 1, field 2, field 3, field 4, field 6, field 8, and so on from the table. What is the table you needed? From the table into the internal table, internal table, whatever the internal table you specified, it has to come. So whereas up to n rows, the query will be the same. At the last, you will be adding up to n number of rows, up to n rows. So whatever the rows you specified. Whereas over here, you will be specifying, so where conditions, where, so the field 1 is equal to condition 1 and field 2 is equal to condition 2, or field 3 is equal to some condition 5. So whatever it can be. So like this, you have to specify this. Now, if you need the required fields, so what is the first thing we need to do? If you need the required fields, we first need to create a structure. We first need to create a structures, which is nothing but your types declaration. So it can be the input fields that are required in the internal table, or it can be the output fields which we need to showcase, So this for the first thing we need to define this. After this, for this types declaration, we need to define the data declarations like your internal table and your your work area. And then what we need to write, we need to get the data from the database. So then we need to write the select query. We need to write the select query from where we need to get the database. Get the data and then display the data. So display the data. So these are the steps that you need to follow when you're writing your query in your old format. So the old format, this is the one. So now let's see that. So I'm just logging into I'm just logging into the system. Sorry guys, I'm speaking on mute. So I just need to get the data from VBAP table. So the fields which I needed are VBELN, POSNR, MATNR, CHARG, MATKL, MATKL, and then so I'm just looking for what are the fields that we required. Yeah, ZMENG, ZMIENE. Okay, so now let's take these are the fields I needed. So for this, what the first step we need to create this as your types declaration. So the types declaration manually you can create it or automatically you can ask SAP to create that. So how can you ask that? By clicking on your pattern. So which with fields from your structure and then VBAP and then select the required fields, MATNR. So these are the fields and just say click on copy and you just need to say GTY underscore VBAP, replace the data with your types. So that's it. So then the next thing is what we need to do. We need to create our data declarations. So then what I need to do, so data gt underscore VBAP type standard table of gty underscore VBAP and then gs underscore VBAP type gty underscore VBAP. So now what is my next thing? I need to get the data. So main logic, so that which is nothing but your select query. Select VBELN. So now I just need these fields. I'll say Control Shift right arrow. So till whatever you want, you can just copy that and say down arrow. So say down arrow. So see what is the area you have selected, that will be just say copied. I'm just copying the fields from VBAP into table GT underscore VBAP. That's it. Now I just go ahead and display the data, then you will be saying this as loop at GT underscore VBAP into GS underscore VBAP, and then you will be writing this as write GS underscore VBAP hyphen VBELN, comma GS underscore VBAP hyphen POSNR, comma GS underscore VBAP hyphen MATNR, comma GS underscore VBAP hyphen MATKL, comma GS underscore VBAP hyphen CHARG, comma GS underscore VBAP hyphen ZMENG, comma GS underscore VBAP hyphen ZIEME. That's it. Now do your pretty printer and let's get check this to see if there are any errors. No errors at all. And let's get activate the code. So now when I say this, now when I click on execute, see here, so the GTVBAP is equal to, see here how totally it will be showing you that into number of rows into number of columns. So how many columns you have selected? 7 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So how many columns you have specified over here, it will show you over here. Why it is showing only 7 columns? Because you have specified it to the types which you have created. The types which you have created, so that's the reason it is showing you only these details. Now when I say activate execute, see here the details will be shown up in your output, whatever the details. So this is how you need to create this. Now how can you do that within your inline declarations? So the simple step, first of all we just need to cancel this one, and then what you will do, you will be writing this as data of GS underscore VBAP, data of GS underscore VBAP. In the new syntax style, you don't need to create your types declaration as well as your data declarations. You just say separated by a comma, separated by a comma after every field, and at the rate data of. That's it. Automatically whatever the fields you identify from the table, it will create a internal table with these fields. It will create an internal table with these fields. You don't need to define your types declaration as well as your data declaration. So that's it. Now when I say execute this one, now if I go to GTVBAP, it will be the same data. It will be the same data, and FA, the same thing will be shown in your output. So when you are writing in the types, when you are writing this, when you are writing the new syntax, usually in real time, we will always use to get the data, or we will always need to show the data from your multiple tables. So we will always show the data from the multiple tables. So from your multiple tables, you have to define it and you have to show the data in the output. So this is what you will be getting the requirement. So if it is a single table, you can directly write this and you can show it in the output. But if you need to get it from the multiple tables, so if you are using joins, then it's fine. Then it's fine. But there is a concept called as for all entries, so which we are going to see maybe in tomorrow's class. Sorry, that means on Monday's class or Tuesday's class, we are going to see for all entries. So whatever the issues in the joins, to overcome these issues, we will going ahead with your for all entries. When you are defining with the for all entries, So whatever the output we need, only for that we will create the types declarations and data declarations. Types and data declarations. Types and data declarations. In remaining all the scenarios, we will never create any types declarations or your data declarations. We will always goes with your inline declarations. Will always goes with your inline declarations only. So if in the inline declarations for getting of the fields, we'll write say select field 1 comma field 2 comma field 3 comma field 4 and so on from the internal table, sorry, from the database table into table at the rate data of internal table. That's it. You'll just write this is the command. So now you don't need to this. Now with the help of this internal table while displaying, you will be creating an inline declaration of your work area. Loop at internal table into data of your work area. So that's what I have done it in the new style. So that's what I have shown you. So now the coding effect, how much coding effort it has reduced. Previously it is almost like 36 lines. Right now it will be close to like your 12 lines. See how much code you have been reduced. How much code you have been reduced and how much so the time will be also reduced when you're writing the query in your new style, when you're writing the query in your new style. Now if I let's say if I want to concatenate these two things, so now what I will do, I'll just keep it as same like this, and now I'll just say concat vbeln comma posnr comma okay. So here these are the new styles that has been came up in your S4. I thought this will work it over here, but it's not working. So you can ask while writing your select query, you can do the concatenations directly. So that we will be seeing in your S4 database, not on ECC. We can't able to see it on ECC database. We have to go ahead with your S4 database, then you can able to see that. Now if I go to the new syntaxes which I have provided for you guys. See, I used to do the same thing. Sorry, this is the new style. See here, concat with the space. So if I want to do a space and concat with the space. So if I want to do that. So concatenations, you can able to do that directly. You don't need to do, or you don't need to do this. So you don't need to do. See, concatenate with a space. So how many spaces you needed? Two spaces I needed. So like this, you can able to do this. So concat, let's say I'll also try this with the concatenation with a space. We'll see whether it is working over here. No, it's not working. So you can't able to do this in your new syntaxes. So even the conditional operator you can do this, the switch operator you can do this or directly over here. directly over here. This is the main new style which we will be writing in your S4. Select from. So previously we used to get the fields, but then you will be writing first of all whatever the conditions you have, and then we will be getting your fields. So this is the updated select query. This is the updated select query which you will be doing that in your HANA style. So this is completely the HANA style. So which you will be seeing this when you complete this course. So that's what. So I thought that we can able to use it over here, but that is not going to work over here. So now let
Ravi, is
me
there a
activate this.
concat operator?
Sorry.
Is there a concatenation operator? Like in Oracle,
Yeah.
we do two pipes and etc. Do we have something like that here?
Sorry. I Can you repeat the statement once?
You have the first field, right? Then first field instead of comma, we add in two pipes, and then the second two pipes, so that concatenates everything to a string. Okay.
Right.
Uh,
So
but
here you
yeah,
will be using that as concatenate with concat operator, concatenate with space operator. So here it will always be doing with your space operator only.
okay. I mean, you always have to use the command concat, is it? There's
Right.
no
No.
operator
So you can't able to
concatenation.
do like so you're saying like VBLN pipe symbol.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
this you are
Something like
saying,
that. Yes, yes.
right?
Hmm.
So this is not possible over here. So you have to
Okay.
use the operator concatenate with space.
Okay.
So
Okay.
like you will be having something like as trimming operator. So if I want to remove some of my leading zeros while I'm getting the data, I want to remove the leading zeros. You will be saying left trim. So if I
Hmm.
want to add, if I want to remove some right side zeros, right trim. Like that, you will be having so many commands that which we will be using directly when you're working on your HANA statement. But over here, when you come here, you have to say remove leading zeros or remove trailing zeros. Like that, you have to use the operators. But when you are going with HANA, so when you are moving from ECC to HANA, what SAP will always suggest is do everything at the database level. So that means, at the database level is while fetching of data, do your every operation. That's what SAP is always used to tell us. So to do that, we have some of the statements that has been included directly. So some of the statements that have been included directly. So with those statements, we will be passing that directly in your select statements. We'll be passing those statements. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, we don't pass, so we don't need to do everything. So see, in SAP, how the processing of the query will be done. So you will be having the presentation layer, you will be having the application layer, you will be having the database layer. Whenever you write the select query, at that point it will connect to the database, and it will fetch the data, and it will be storing the data into your internal table. The internal table will always be in your application layer. The internal table will always be in your application layer. From this internal table, you will be doing whatever the summing operator, the summation operator, or you will be doing whatever the concatenation operator, or removing of leading zeros, etc., etc. Whatever the things that has been asked by your functionals, you will be going to do that, and finally you will be displaying the data. So that's what you will be doing everything on your application layer. So now what SAP has done is, so move the same all these things. So the summation, the count, the sum, count, count, uh, concatenation, removing leading zeros, adding the data, to the field. So let's say, for example, if it is an Indian customer, so when I'm displaying the customer number, so I need to show the country name. IN underscore, let's say 001 is a customer. So in database, it will be storing it as 000 001. But if it is an Indian customer, I want to show this. If it is a US customer, it has to show me as US underscore 005, like that. So like this, it has to show me that in your output. So these type of operations, you will be doing that everything in your database level, and finally get the data into your internal table. So everything you have to push to your database level. So everything you have to push to your database level. That's what SAP is suggesting to do that. So whereas this is in S4, whereas in ECC, everything you have to do it at your application layer. So once you get the data into an internal table, then after you will be doing your operations, whatever the conditional operator or whatever you are doing, whatever the requirement that has been provided by your functional, that you will be doing it at your internal table level. Okay, clear, Girish?
Yeah, yeah, clear. Thanks.
Okay, so now if it is specific number of rows, you will just mention up to, let's say, 50 rows. So whereas if you have a where conditions, then you will be writing your where conditions. So now let me just say click on activate. And now when I click on execute, I'll be just removing my breakpoint. I'll just say click on execute and go with this material H1000, H10000, H all zeros. So now if I go here, MATNR, where MATNR is equal to, so I'll just providing this material number. So now I'll just say activate this one. I'll just go click on execute. You will be just finding out with the help of this material number, whatever the input. So this is how you will be writing this. Now at the same way, if I want to provide this at your selection screen, you can just provide that at your selection screen level, and you can just showcase that in your output. 1 second, guys. Okay, so this is how you have to just specify your logic, and this is what you need to write down when you are doing with your select statement. When you are writing with your select statement, so you don't need to specify these types and data declarations at all. So now let me take to an assignment. So assignment 17. Assignment 17. So what is this? So now the group लोने बिट्टा करता है. So now get the data, get the data from the table, BKPF. So BKPF is a table. So I need the following parameters in the selection screen. following parameters in the selection screen. The company code, the uh, company code which is nothing but BUKRS, and make this field as mandatory. Make this field as mandatory, and pass the default value as 1000, and pass the default value as 1000. To do this, so to pass the default value, I'm just giving the hint also. To pass the default value, we will use a command. So we'll use a command called as default. So after your parameter, you have to mention your default. So like this. So let me show you that one also. So now I'm going to say parameters, let's say P underscore MATNR, type MATNR. So as obligatory and default to this value H10000. That's it. So this is what you will be doing. Now do your pretty printer, and let's get activate your code. And when I click on execute, see here automatically the default value will come up. Now when I remove this, when I click on execute, it will show you fill up all your required entry tree. Sorry, fill out all your required fields. So it will show you as obligatory, which is nothing but your mandatory. So this is the statement you have to use it in the same way. So company code, you have to pass it, and you have to make the value as default to 100 or default to 1000. Now, so get the required fields. So what are the fields I needed? BUKRS, GJAHR or BELNR, GJAHR, which is nothing but your current year. So now I'm going to my table BKPF, Now I need BUKRS, BLNR, GJHR, BLART, BLART, BLDAT, BUDAT, BLDAT, BUDAT, MONAT, CPUDT, CPUDT, AEDAT. All these are required dates. US name, USNAM, and then T code, BVORG, XBLNR, XBLNR. So the output. So these are the input fields. Output fields I needed are, so concat BUKRS at the rate GJAHR followed by pipe symbol BELNR, or else I'll say this as BELNR, and pipe symbol GJAHR. So this is the one I needed to concat, and then BLART, and then BLART underscore your description. So and then concat. So BUDAT. So I require the format as dd.mm.yyyy. So I require this format to showcase that in your output at the rate BUDAT as YYYY slash MM slash DD, and hashtag CPU DT has MM hyphen DD hyphen YYYY, and dollar AEDAT. AEDAT as DD. So I'll go with the DD dot dot YYYY. So this is the format. So this is what you have to showcase that in your output as one single field. So this is one single field. You have to showcase that. And then Yumbo NAT and Yumbo NAT description. So this is the period. So period is nothing but your month. That is nothing but your month. So if it is 001, you have to display it as January. If it is 002, you have to display it as February. If it is 003, then you have to display it as March, like that. So MONAT description is that one. So you have to do that. And then US name, T code, BVORG, concat, BVORG, pipe symbol, XBLNR. So this is what your output is. Now coming to BLA RT. So BLA RT underscore your description. You just need to provide it as, let me go ahead and find out the things. So slash and SE16N. So I'll going to BKPF, and now I'll just click on display, which is nothing but the document type. So mostly you will be having, okay. So if it is WE, then print it as goods receipt. Goods receipt. If it is RE, then invoice receipt. Then invoice else you need to print it as others. You need to print it as others. Now what you need to do, you need to do this in, so note, do this assignment in old syntaxes, the new syntaxes, and then the conditional operator, the switch operator, all these things, the switch operator and all these things you have to do it. So do let me know if you're not clear. I can tell you one example with the new syntaxes. So let me take this. How can you work with this on your new syntax style? So I'll just going to do this with your new syntax style. So now let me show you that assignment 16. So how I'm going to do that with your new syntax style. So I'll just say activate this one again. So now I'll go back and then I'll just say ZR 7 AM assignment underscore. So what is that? 16, assignment 16. I'll just say click on create. So I'm going to take this as example program. So assignment 16. So I'm just going to do that. I'll just say click on executable program. Let me click on save this one. And now saving that to your package as well as your TR. Now the main logic I'm directly going with. So select. So what are the fields I needed? EBELN, EBELN, BUKRS. So then EBELN, BUKRS, BSTYP, BSTYP, BSART, BSART, LIFNR, LIFNR, and then EKORG and EKGRP from VBAP into table GT and at the rate data of GT underscore VBAP up to, let's say, 10 rows. I'm going to do this with the distinct value, distinct, and then I'll just say this as order by EBELN, comma, BUKRS. So that's it. Now display the data. Display the data. So what I'll going to do, loop at internal table GT underscore VBAP into data of GS underscore VBAP. So then what I will do, the first field. So write GS underscore. So what is the first one? So I need to show it as GS underscore VBAP hyphen VBELN, comma, next GS underscore VBAP hyphen BUKRS, then conditional operator, conditional hash, conditional hash. So I'm going to do this one. So what is this? When GS underscore VBAP hyphen BUKRS is equal to, what is the value? I need 1000, then it's India. So then the same thing. When GS underscore VBAP hyphen BUKRS is equal to 2300, then it's USA, else it's others, else it's others. So that's it. Now do your pretty printer. That's it. So it's worked. So now the next field. What is the next field? What is my next field? So BSTYP. So GS underscore VBAP hyphen BSTYP. Next, in the same way, BSTYP description. So I'm going to say switch GS underscore VBAP hyphen BSTYP. So now when, so A, when A, then it's RFQ. So I'm just doing the both the operators in one single statement. When F, then it is quotation, then it is PO. So else it is others, else it is others. So that's it. Now do your pretty printer. So it's worked. 1 second, guys. So this is what. Now, what is the next field after this BSTYP? So we will be having BSA RT. So now I'll just say GS underscore VBAP hyphen BSA RT. Now GS, the this switch or conditional operator, whatever you can do it, switch, I'll just say GS underscore VBAP hyphen BSA RT when. So what is the condition? What is the condition BSA RT? I didn't put any condition for BSA RT. Okay, so let me remove this then. Then GS underscore VBAP hyphen LIFNR, and then you need to do concatenate. So how can you do that concatenate? So pipe symbol, you will just say EKORG GS underscore VBAP hyphen EKORG, and then you will be saying this as hashtag, and then you will be saying this as GS underscore VBAP hyphen EKGRP. That's it. The coding is done. So now do your pretty printer and let's get check this to see if there are any issues. So it's EKKO, and this is okay. That's it. Now check this. EK EBELN. So this is my EBELN. Sorry, my bad. I have taken the wrong field. BSTYP. That's it. Now do your pretty printer and it's worked. And now let's get activate. Now, so while writing the right statement itself, I'm doing all my operators, whatever the operators I have. Now when I click on execute, see here, whatever you want, it has been printed. So India, FPO, NB, so whatever it has, so it has done this. So this is how you have to do this with your new syntaxes. So in your old syntax, you have to go ahead and say if statement, and you have to go ahead and say switch case statement, all these things, and you have to use your concatenate, and you have to pass that to a separate variable. Even here also, when you are using that in a if statement, you have to pass it to a separate variable and all these things. So now the variables declarations, everything has been reduced. So that's what. So in when you are using this new syntaxes, you have to always, yeah, Bindu, you can okay. So when you have to always reduce the, you have to always reduce the declarating of your variables. That means you have to reduce your ABAP memory. You have to reduce your ABAP memory. So now, so the question is, so can we display the header in the output screen? Yes, I didn't came to that at that point till now. After your select statements are completed, then I'm going to show you how can you display your header. Hold on for that till that time. Okay. So this is how you will be writing your assignment 16. The same way you have to do it your assignment 15 as well as your assignment 14. So I'm going to activate it again. So clear with this? Any questions? Any questions? Okay, I'll be considering it as no questions. And now the next statement we are going to see is select single versus select up to one row. So what is the difference between this? Just give me 1 minute, guys. I'm getting a call. The next statement we are going to see is select single versus select up to one row. So up to one row is nothing but to get one single record from the database. To get one single record from the database, up to one row is. So whereas the select single also used to get one single record, one single record from the database. So then what is the difference between your select single and select up to one row? Now, when you are passing, when you are passing all the key fields data, all the key fields data, all the key fields data. So if you are passing all the key fields data in the where condition, then we will use the select single. Select single. If you are not passing all the key fields, not passing all the key fields, then we will use select up to one row. Up to one row. That means select single will give you the unique record. Select single will give us the unique record. Unique record. Whereas the select up to one row will give us select up to one row will give us one single record, will give us one single record which meets the condition, which meet the condition. So for example, if I go to my VB, if I go to this BKPF table, if I pass these three conditions, I used to get only this is the record. So because these are my three key fields. So in this, if you see here, so the blue color, the dark blue color are nothing but your key fields. So if I go to parallelly, I'll open SE11. So BKPF and display this. So see, BUKRS, BELNR and GJHR. These three are your key fields. Now, if I pass these three key fields, that means you will be getting your unique record. Whereas if I pass these two fields, if I pass this field as well as this field, so company code and year 1995. Now, whatever the conditions it is matching, the first record which SAP has been identified, it will get that record. So here it will be showing you this record, whereas when you use select up to one row, it will show you this record in your output. In your output, that's the difference. So this is as the most important interview question when you will be using select single and when you will be using select up to one row. If you are providing all the key fields in your where condition, then you will be always using your select up to one row, sorry, select single. All the key fields data, if you are providing all the key fields data, then you will be using select single. If you are not providing all the key fields data, then you will be using select up to one row. So now let's see the syntax. I'm directly going ahead and using this, the new style. So select single, select single versus one row. So let me click on create example program on select single versus select up to one rows. So I'm going to take this as executable program and let me click on save. So now I'll just go ahead with my select single. So when you're writing this select single, how many records you will be getting? One single record. So we will directly pass. We will directly pass to my work area. We'll directly pass to the work area. As it is a single record, it is going to specify. So the syntax will be select. So I'm just going to write directly BUKRS, BELNR, GJAHR, GJAHR, and BSTYP, or sorry, BLART, BUDAT from BK BKPF into. So previously you using to write your internal table into table you used to write. So now here you have to mention your select single. So when you're writing this, you don't need to specify your table. You will be directly specifying your work area GS underscore BK BKPF. So then where BUKRS is equal to 1000, BELNR is equal to, and BELNR is equal to, so 1, I'm just going to have my 1, and then, and GJAHR. GJAHR is equal to 1995. So 1995. So now display the output. I'm going to say if size of bars is equal to 0, size of RC is equal to 0, then you will be saying right, right? So GS underscore BKPF hyphen hyphen BELNR. So I'm just going to have this one, and GS underscore BKPF hyphen BUKRS, and then GS underscore BKPF hyphen GJAHR. So that means the same record has to be printed in your output. Let's do your pretty printer and let's get activate your code. Sorry, it's underscore. So now let me check this. Let me activate this one. So now when I click on execute, see here it's not showing you the output. So now see here it's my size of bars equal to 4. But with the same conditions, you have the data over here. If I pass the same thing, 1000 and 1, I'm just going to pass it as 1. And then I'm going to pass this as 1995. Now when I click on execute, when I click on execute, it is displaying the output. Why it's not displaying over there? Why it's not displaying over there? Can someone can tell me? What is the reason behind it's not displaying over there? Why? What is the reason behind it's not displaying? Or
It's
or
more
in
than
my
more than.
no, we have passed all the 3 key fields. The same thing.
Hmm.
So the same thing. I just passed the same thing over here also, right, in the input. So 1000, my where condition BUKRS, BELNR equal to 1. So see here, BELNR equal to 1 and GJHR equal to 1995. I have passed the same details. But why it is not showing it? Why my size of bars equal to 4? Why? If you are confident in data dictionary, then you will be saying you can tell this answer. No idea? Okay, let me tell you that. So the reason behind is input and output fields both are the same. Then, so no, it's not the condition. So what will happen if input and output fields both are the same? So that's my where condition. So based upon this condition, I want to get my data. So that's it. This data I have to determine and I have to print this. But when I pass this, my size bar is equal to is not equal to 0. When I pass the same thing over here in SE16 and it is showing you the output. I told you you will be having a concept called as your conversion exit in the domain. So what it will do, it will convert the value into external to internal and internal to external format. Now if I click on execute, see, this is whatever you are seeing is an external format. When you double click on this, see here for 1, it has an leading zeros. This is the internal format. You have to always provide. Remember that when you are hard coding the values in your where conditions. So note, when we are passing the hard coding values in the where conditions, hard coding values in the where conditions, we need to always pass the internal format. We have to always pass the internal format. So there can be a difference between your external as well as your internal formats. So now this is your internal format you have to provide. Now when I provide this one, now when I say this as activate, now when I click on execute, now you can able to see your size bar is equal to 0. When I click on execute, the same thing will be shown you in your output. See, while you are defining that in your output, again SAP will showcase that in your external format only. So internal format. So it will do the conversions automatically. So I'll show you that in your debugging. So again, let me click on execute. So when I say F5 and when I say F5, it will see here, it will do your debugging. It will do your debugging. See, conversion exit for GJHR output. So for your GJHR, it is doing your conversion exit. I'll just say F7. Again, F5, it will do for your some other things. So like this, it will do for your conversion exit. So if you want, I can show you by line by line. So as we are doing this, it's one single line. So now let me click on activate this one. Now let me click on execute. When I say F5, F5, F5. So here it is doing your conversion exit. So like this, it will go ahead and do your conversion exit. But here there is some issue for BELNR also. It has to do your conversion exit, but it's not doing that conversion exit over here. So now that conversion exit, you have to pass it. Now if I go to this BELNR, go to this data element and go to your domain, you will be having a conversion exit alpha. So now what you need to do, for example, I'll just going back. So now I'll be just taking this as parameter. Parameter P underscore BELNR value. So BL underscore BELNR type char 10. I'm just going to reference this as char 10. So now I'll just go ahead and pass this as P underscore BELNR. BELNR. So now this is of my char 10. Now when I activate this one, when I sorry, in the OpenSQL syntaxes, you have to use at the rate again, activate, activate, and now let me click on execute. If I pass this as 1, see here, it will internal conversion will all, it will not do the your internal conversion because we have defined it as char 10. So now you have to do this internal conversion. How can you do that one? So in order to do that, you need to define a variable. So data gv underscore BELNR type BELNR underscore your D. I'm just going to pass this one. I know if I go to this, my data element is BELNR equal to D. Now what you need to do before you writing your select statement, you need to call the conversion exit function module. Conversion exit function module. How to call this function module? To call the function module, click on pattern, and here you have to follow your call function and you have to provide that. Now if I go to my BELNR, let me go back. BELNR, it will directly go to your data element. BELNR, double click on this alpha, you will be having this. So this is the function module you have to call. So you need to convert that into your input format. So call this one and then provide it over here, and then you need to say what is my input, P underscore BELNR. So where my output has to be stored, my output has to be stored in GV underscore BELNR. So the same thing, instead of P you are going to pass this. Now this is my input, this is the output value which I have to pass this to my select query. Now do your pretty printer. Let's get check this and let's get activate this one. Now let me keep a breakpoint over here. Let me remove the breakpoint. Okay. So now let's click on execute. Now if I pass it as 1 and if I say click on activate. So now let me remove this. Let me keep a breakpoint again. Let me execute 1 and let's say click on execute. Okay, my debugger has been started. Now see here, it will just do your input conversion. So if I go F5, it will go inside your function module. See here, under your standard, currently it is in your start of selection event. So after that, we are going to see this events. What is this? Now if I say F5, F5, see here, it is going to your conversion exit. So the conversion exit, the function module. Function is nothing but your function module. So I don't want to see the code, or I don't want to I don't want to go deeper. I just want to completely execute. Then you'll say F7. It will come directly back to your start of selection, and G underscore VBA LNR is equal to your all zeros 1. So this is the code you have to return for this, and you can convert that into your internal format. But when you want to do this in your new syntax, you don't need to do all these things. So simply you'll just say, so first of all, I want to convert this into your BELNR underscore D. So what you need to do, I'll just say convert BELNR underscore D. So I'm just going to do that one, the convert operator, and then you will just use your pipe symbol and open this one. And what is the value? I want to do this one. Sorry, 1 second. It will not work over here. This is the first step. GV underscore VBELN. VBELN. I'll just keep the same way. BELNR. The first step. So I'll just say data of. So you can directly, so whatever the code which I'm writing it over here, you can directly write it over here. First, let me show you over here. So first thing is how to convert. So the new syntax for your conversion exit. The new syntax for the conversion exit. So the first thing is data of. So whatever the variable GV underscore variable is equal to, we'll just open your pipe symbol and open your flower brackets, and whatever the field name, you will be writing this as alpha. So whatever the conversion routine name, alpha is equal to either in, or you will just say it as out. So either input format or your output format. So that's it. So now it will do the conversion internally. It will do your conversion internally, internal format. But this conversion exit new syntax will only work for your alpha. If you go to your material, for example, let me go to my material. So I'll just open my material, MATNR. So I'll directly go to my domain material. So if you see here mat and 1, for this it will not work. For this it will not work. If I copy this and if I provide this as mat and 1, it will throw you an error. Mat and 1, it will throw you an error. Only for the alpha conversion exit, it will work. In SAP, almost 80% of the data domains will uses the conversion exit alpha. 80% of the domains will uses the conversion exit alpha. Will uses the conversion exit alpha. Remember that. Okay. So this is what for your alpha you can able to do it. Now I want to convert this field. So in old style, what you will be doing. So first of all, we will be writing this as gv underscore BELNR is equal to, we'll just pass P underscore BELNR. BELNR. Now, whatever the value we have, we'll just providing it over here. And then we used to write your conversion. I directly use it over here. You can also do like this, or you will be writing like this. You will be writing like this. So this is the one. So here I will be passing my input value as the same, and it will convert the value into the output value, and it will be showcasing you in the same field. So this is what you will be doing this in your old syntax when you want to convert. When you want to convert, this is what. Now in the new style, what we will be doing is you will be having an operator called as convert. Convert. So which will automatically convert your operator, which will automatically convert to the data element. It will convert to the data element which we provided, either in hash or in data declarations. Either in hash or in data declaration. That means you have provided here your data declarations. You'll just say gv underscore VBELN, BELNR is equal to convert hash. So convert hash, and you will just say pass P underscore BELNR, P underscore BELNR. If you doesn't write this, then you will be just saying this as data of, and here instead of this, here you can provide your table name bkpf hyphen BELNR. You can just provide this one also. Pretty printer, let me click on check. Sorry, this is correct. Sorry, full stop. This is the issue. So now check this. So see, redundant conversion to be aggregate function, that's fine. You don't need to worry about it. Or if you are facing this, you'll just say BELNR underscore D, and let's click on check this. So it will show you the same thing. So warnings you can just ignore. So this is what. So this is how the conversion will be doing it. Now, once you convert this, so then what you are doing a conversion. So this is what you are doing it, right? So now what I will do, I'll just put your pipe symbol over here, and I'll just say this as alpha equal to in. Two operators, we are going to do it in one single statement. So the first thing is it will do your conversion, and then it will do your it will do your conversion and do it your internal conversion format. It will convert the operator into BLNRD and then it will do it. So instead of writing this much big command of code, you'll just write down with one single statement. The same statement directly you can pass it over here. You can pass it over here. Let's see this if it is going to work. I hope it will not work it over here in the in the in the in our ECC system, but in your HANA system this will work. This will work. So that's what. So here you will be just passing this as GV underscore BELNR. GV underscore BELNR. Now do your pretty printer. Let's get check this. Now let's get activate this one. Now when I say this has put a breakpoint over here, let me click on execute. One, let me click on execute. Now see here, I don't have anything over here. If I say F5 and just say F5, see automatically it has converted. So P underscore BELNR is 1. It has done your conversion into BELNR underscore D, and it is also done your internal formatting. It's also then your internal formatting, and just say execute, it will show you the output. So this is how you have to use this while writing your ABAP code. So see how many conversion. Now if I want to, let's say, concatenate, so I want to do my concatenate operator also. I want to do my concatenate operator, so I'll just pass this one. So this is one word. So now I'll just close this one and then open one more thing, hashtag, and let's say the username. Let's say the Sai uname. I'm just going to do this one. So that's it. That's it. This is Sai, not Sai uname. So that's it. Now like this you can do it. Now if I say pretty printer, and now let's get activate the code. So now when I click on F8, so one I'm going to pass it. Now see here, it will do the conversion exit. So GV underscore VBELNR. So now F5 and then F5. See here, automatically it has done your conversion also. Automatically it has done your conversion also. See, this is how the new syntaxes will place an important role. If I want to do this in old syntax, so this much of code you have to return the field name. So the first thing is you have to write your this much of code you have to write it, and then you need to use your concatenate operator, and you have to pass to this variable. The same one with one single statement I have done this. So that's the main important reason to learn your new syntaxes. So everything you will be writing internally. So SAP uses internal memory, which will be very faster when compared to with your application layer. So it will go for a dump. I know it. It will go for a dump because the whatever the thing which you have copied is a wrong one. I know it. So this is what your select. So this is all about your conversion exit, and I'll just going to remove this entire one. So this is all about your select single, whereas the select up to one row, so the syntax will be the same. So select BUKRS GJBELNR B. So I'll just copy the field names. The field names are pretty much the same. The query is pretty much the same. From BKPF into table. So as you are using up to n rows, you have to always use into table at the rate data of GT underscore BKPF, where I'll just pass BUKRS is equal to 1000. and GJHR equal to 1995. 1 second. Now I'm going to take this as GJHR is equal to 1995. Now, if my size of bar is equal to 0, if size of bar is equal to 0, then I'm going to say this as loop at GT underscore BK PF into, as I already have my work area, I don't need to define my work area, BK PF. Now I'm going to say the same thing, the right statement, I'll just going to say this one. Now do your pretty printer and let's get activate the code. Now when I click on execute, if I pass it as 1 and if I say it as execute, remove my breakpoint, you can see the difference between your select single and select up to one row. I didn't pass up to one row, up to one rows. Now let me activate this one and let me click on execute. Pass it as 1. I'll just click on execute. Okay, I have given it as 1 only. Let me go here and let me provide one more thing. So slash and SE16N. So BKPF. I'll just say execute this one. So now I'll just pass it as 3. I'll just pass this as 3 when I say execute. See here, the select single will define the 3, whereas select up to one row will give you the first record. So that's the difference between your select single versus select up to one row. So now, so this is all about your select single versus select up to one row. Now in tomorrow's class, that means which will be happen on Monday, we are going to see select using joins. So till now we have used only one single table. How can we use multiple tables in a join statement? Multiple tables in a join statement, that we are going to see that. And then what are the issues with this join? How can you overcome this issue? And then we'll be starting with select for all entries. Select for all entries. So this is what we are going to see. By this, we will be completing all your select statements. Before we go ahead and start with this, I'm going to say the selection screen design. The selection screen design. How can you design your selection screen? Like your parameters, parameters you have to see about your select options. So what is the select option? When I'm going to tell you your select option, I'm going to say internal table with the header line. There is a concept called as internal table with header line. So that I'm going to show you that one. So currently we are not at all using this syntax at all, but there are few places where SAP using internal table with header line. So you have to know about that internal table with header line. So that's the end of today's session. Before I signing off for today's session, any other questions? Any other questions, guys? Okay, I'll be considering it as no questions. So happy weekend to everyone. So we'll meet you again on Monday. So please practice it and come back with your questions if you have any. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.